Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Mike Brenner coming to you with the Brenner Blast and the Brenner Breakdown. All right, guys, this month is flying by. It's Sunday, the 18th of March. I'm traveling. I'm going to be on the road for a while, but we're still going to have our videos every day. We'll have them punctual and coming out early in the morning. Looking at a day yesterday, 2-0 on the video picks. 3-3, we broke even with the private picks, but we were down juice. So we got a mission today to get that back because 3-3. Two of those were absolute bad beats. Had Nova on the first half and took them a while to get going. They ended up being up 5 at the half instead of the 7 or 6 that was needed. So that one missed by a point. Then we had Kansas on the full game. I mean, come on. I had that on the private pick. We had Kansas, who was leading double digits throughout the entire game. Then within the last minute, they had a meltdown. Ended up only winning by 4. We needed 4.5. So real close to having a spectacular day. But we'll take 5-3 over the bookie any day of the week. All right, guys, there's a lot of action. Let's get into it, all right? Obviously, we're going to talk some NIT and the big dance, and then we'll get into NBA. Going to have a pick in each of those, so make sure you're getting this ready. All right, Mississippi State early game, 12 o'clock, taking on Baylor. This is NIT style. All right, 19-14 Baylor. If they're wondering why they're not in the tournament, well, 19-14, not getting it done. This team was a Jekyll and Hyde almost. And Mississippi State, who feels like they were shunned, 23-11 record. Well, you ended your season on a 5-5 run straight up. That's not going to get it done also. So this is one of those games. It's early. I'm staying off it. It's -6, favoring Baylor. Also, the 2 picks I have are for later games, so we're good to go there. Then another early game, 12-15 today in the big dance. Butler taking on Purdue. Purdue is favored -3.5. I think this thing could go either way. Isaac Haas is not expected to play for Purdue. He's got that elbow issue, so I'm not sure if it's if he will be a burden on that team if he plays as opposed to helping them. So we'll see what happens. Butler, all right, 4-6 its last 10, so they're not coming in with any kind of big emotion, nor is Purdue for that matter. This game is Purdue -3.5. No call on that one. All right, then you got Syracuse taking on Michigan State. Coaching classic. Boeheim up against Tom Izzo. These two are masters of the art and have been for a long time. The game is kind of a high line. Michigan State favored -9. Let's get real here. Michigan State 9-1 straight up its last 10. That's strong, but 2-7-1 ATS its last 10, so be careful there. Michigan State, though, the Spartans 30-4 on the year. Syracuse really turned it on when it needed to. They held TCU to 31 points under its season average of 83. So Syracuse had just a smothering defense last performance. Can they bring that up against a Michigan State team? Tyrus Battle averaging 19.7 points a game. He's leading the way for the Syracuse Orangemen. Michigan State, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're deeper. I don't know, 9 points. I'm staying off of that one. That's a 2:45 game. Then later today, 4:30, you got another NIT style, baby. Oregon taking on Marquette. Oregon 22-13 on the year, up against a 20-13 Marquette team. Marquette 7-3. 10, its last 10 straight up, so they feel like they've been snubbed. They got a chip on their shoulder. A lot of Jekyll and Hyde effect also with this Oregon team, similar to Baylor. Can't really kind of put a good feel on it. Right now, Marquette favored -5.5. They did limit Harvard to 21 first-half points last game in its victory. Marquette did, so it was taken out. It pissed off somebody going to pay for that shit for not making the big dance. Took it out on Harvard and did it early. See what happens here. Again, 4:30 p.m., no call. Then you got, here's a big one, Texas A&M taking on UNC. All right, North Carolina, ooh, they come and they go. They're going in spurts. They've been squeaking through. Can that continue? 5:15 Eastern today. All right, I'm telling you, you've got Luke May and Theo Pinson are going to be in for one hell of a battle. All right, they might get wore down. You got 3 big men, 6'10" or bigger for Texas A&M in that lineup. They tend to wear people down, but they don't have a deep bench. UNC favored -6.5. That could be one of those dangerous stay-off games. Don't know. No call in that one. And you got Middle Tennessee State taking on Louisville at 6:30. All right. Here's two teams that both felt like they were snubbed by the committee. Louisville, so much so that they made a statement and even carried through the players that we almost turned down this invitation to NIT. We almost said hell no. All right. I don't know, man. That doesn't speak great volumes to me, especially coming from a team that's being coached from an interim coach because of all of the Rick Rick Pitino drama. All right, David Padgett, they haven't even made him an offer this year, so that guy, he's not even probably going to be coaching there. I don't see a lot of momentum there. Middle Tennessee State, they allow 65 points per game. That's nothing to write home about, but it is in the top 70 of the country. Coach Kermit Davis, he's going to be leaving for Ole Miss. All right, when this run is over for Middle Tennessee State, he's moving on, bigger and better things. Does that team rally around their coach who they love? They could. All right, that might be one of those momentum and emotion games you got to look out for. This team also won 12 of 13 true road games. And again, talking about Middle Tennessee State. So Louisville, again, felt snubbed, almost said, hell no, we're not coming to the NIT. But then, for some reason, last minute, they decided to take it. They're favored, -5, no call on that. Then you've got Clemson taking on Auburn at 7:15 tonight. Number 5 up against number 4. Clemson 5-5 its last 10 straight up. 6-4 ATS. All right, they're 6-0 ATS the last 6 non-conference games, though. That's very important. Auburn 5-5 its last 10 straight up. 3-7 ATS. So they're struggling to cash tickets. They are 0-5 ATS their last 5 in a row. They lost 3 of 4 coming into the big dance. I'm talking about Auburn Tigers. You guys better find some momentum. You better go find it from your football team. But this is one of those games. Auburn favored -1.5. I'm staying off it. Later on, the team of the century, the team of forever, UMBC. That's right. Pulled the biggest upset in college basketball history. All right. They shot 68%, scored 53 second-half points against the #1 defense, Virginia. I'll tell you what, I heard that the coach for Virginia is still out and he's hiding somewhere, but I'm just kidding. That's one hell of a loss. I think once that thing snowballed in that second half, they couldn't stop it because it was tied going into halftime. Well, UMBC taking on K-State. UMBC, I don't know, -10.5. Are they getting the love from the books or did they leave everything out on the court? All right, K-State cashed big for us as an underdog on the first half last time out. Hell, they were up by like 6 going into halftime, so we didn't even need the points. UMBC, again, 9-1 in its last 10. Big win versus Virginia. Hard to repeat that momentum, but I'm going to stay off it. K-State -10.5. All right, then you got Xavier late tonight, -5.5 up against Florida State. All right, Florida State got pounded last year to the Musketeers, 91-66. All right, Xavier, 5-5 straight up its last 10, but they can tie a school record 30 wins if they can get this W tonight. Trust me, that plays in the mind of these youngsters, and it also does for the coaches. 8:45, Xavier, Florida State. Xavier favored -5.5, no call in that. Later tonight, 9:45, Marshall taking on West Virginia, in-state rival. No love lost between these teams. Trust me on that one. All right, upset Wichita State, Marshall did, so I don't know if that's saying much. Wichita State pretty much underachieved all year long. But West Virginia, we'll see what happens. 12.5 is a hell of a lot of points. But Bobby Huggins says he's got his team ready to go. They love this rivalry, and they don't like Marshall. Defense, rebounding, turnovers, a deeper bench. That's what West Virginia possesses on Marshall. And West Virginia, again, is favored -12.5. No call in that one. Let's get to the pick that we're giving away for college basketball. It's a game tonight, and it's at 6 p.m. Cincinnati is taking on Nevada. Nevada 8-10 straight up its last 10. Both teams have not been huge ticket cashers, though, ATS-wise. Nevada's got a great coach in Eric Musselman, father of Bill Musselman, back from the Minnesota T-Wolves days. Really comes from some good roots for coaching. Cincinnati 8-2 straight up its last 10. Huge opportunity. They feel they can go 2 ways with this because, trust me, in their region, they saw #1 Virginia fall and fall hard, okay? They can either learn a lesson of not overlooking anybody and take that forward and take this opportunity to grab that right to have the first seed. So Cincinnati's got everything to play for. I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm thinking they're going to get it done. Pull that trigger on the first half, -4.5 with Cincinnati Bearcats. That's my call in college basketball. All right, we got to break it down. There's 4 NBA games real quick. There's no line out yet on Boston at New Orleans. Irving is questionable. Drew Holiday is questionable. Anthony Davis should thrive versus Boston's Al Horford. No call in that. 1 o'clock early today, OKC at Toronto. Telling you what, this is a good meter to gauge for if you're Toronto, because I haven't been there. Even though you guys are 10-0 straight up the last 10, that's huge. It's huge, bottom line. But you're squeaking through some games against some talent. Is it you're not getting up for them or what? So 8-2 straight up last 10 for OKC. I think they're deeper. I think they're healthier. Pulling that trigger, OKC on the first half, plus 3.5. That's right, taking an underdog today on the free NBA pick. OKC first half plus 3.5. That starts at 1 o'clock, so make sure you get that in. Then Houston taking on Minnesota. Houston is favored -7. They're 9-1 last 10, 6-4 ATS last 10. Locking down that number one spot. I'm telling you, James Harden, 23 30-point games. That's incredible. Then Minnesota 4-6. All right, ATS its last 10. Again, living without Butler changes the defensive scheme. They got a 2-game lead in that 8th spot, so they're just barely breathing. I don't know. Houston -7. No call on that one. Then last game, Portland Trailblazers cashed big for us, excuse me, yesterday, big time in that first half. His team is picking up steam, 10-0 straight up last 10, 9-1 ATS last 10. LA Clippers are favored, -2, coming off a 2-game losing streak, all right? 23 turnovers in its last game, the Clippers, that loss at OKC. Unacceptable. All right, guys, got to get out of here. Got a big day. Let's get it done. Thanks for the kind comments. Even thank you for the bad ones, because any attention is better than no attention. Good day yesterday on the video picks. No major damage on the paid picks, so we're doing good. Hit me up, guys, because I got a couple special plays today you don't want to miss. All right, you can reach me, MikeBrennerSports@gmail.com. All right, guys, got to get out of here. I say it all the time. Bet responsible, beat your bookie, build that bank with Brenner. No negativity allowed. Stay positive, stay focused. Most importantly, it's a Sunday. Don't get wrapped up all day in front of the tube watching the hoops game. Spend a little time with family, or have family spend a little time with you watching the games. 2 picks tonight. This is a big one. I love it. College basketball, 6 p.m. Cincinnati on the first half -4.5. And then also early today, OKC as an underdog, first half plus 3.5. Let's get it done. Have a great day, guys. Don't forget the Brenner Blast and the Brenner Breakdown is coming to you. And I'm going to be traveling, so I'll still be coming to you from the road.